We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves. We making major moves. We going all in, like we got nothing to lose. We making moves. We making major moves.
What is up, everybody? I am Mr. Man. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so appreciative to have you guys join me on these adventures that we go on. The other day, I put out a statement with a tweet of mine, or an X of mine, whatever the heck you call it on this platform now, that stated that XRP and R3 Corda are connected. And man, that lit up the internet. And then today, I believe it was today, my guy here, Clown Sniper, Sir Clown Sniper, has said, I got no issue with him. Absolutely none. He comes and attacks me, I get called delusional, I get called, whatever. But at the end of the day, it bothers me absolutely none. I get called a Muppet, I got called Agent Smith by someone who, I consider, I figured we were tight. But let me just keep going. So what he says is, okay, Mr. Joel Katz, would you please address my new 10 things the XRP community needs to learn at your earliest convenience? This is for clarity in this space. So there's a bias already from his point of view, and his point of view is he's correct with his state of mind. So that's why he's asking these questions based on his ideology, not stating he's wrong, right, or indifferent. I'm just trying to walk you through this. I have nothing for sale and ask nothing from anyone other than knowledge. Noble. Very noble of him if that's what he's looking for. 10 things the XRP community needs to learn. 1. Swift does not use XRP. R3 does not use XRP. R3 does not use the XRP ledger. The XRP ETF is fake. 5. There are 0 CBDCs on the XRPL. 6. Fedwire does not use XRP. 7. FedNow does not use XRPL. 8. XRPL needs more builders and less shillers. 9. Riddles have wrecked some people. And 10. Influencers have caused harm. Let's break these down. Alright, so I'm going to get to my point afterwards and come full circle to how I prove my point now, where I am verifying that R3 does use XRP. So, let's just break down what he says though. Swift does not use XRP. Swift specifically does not use XRP. And you know what? Let's just go to what Joel Katz says, David Schwartz has to say. To my knowledge, all of these are essentially correct. Notice the word essentially. Not they're definitively correct. Not absolutely correct. They are essentially. Yeah, essentially, yeah. These are some small exceptions, or there are small exceptions, such as this one, right here. So we're going to break out into that after this here. Swift does not use XRPL. And that could be right. That could very well essentially be right. Currently in its state, it does not use XRP. Who knows what the future may hold? And there's other connectors that connect and pass value through Swift that use XRP. So that could be true. R3 does not use XRP. That's the exception, number 2, that David Schwartz is talking about in this article, which we're going to jump to afterwards. R3 does not use XRPL. It doesn't need to use the XRPL. It's a consortium. R3 was created by a consortium of banks. Let me prove that to you guys here. Okay, so here we have Richard Brown, the CTO of R3 Corda. Okay, listen to what he has to say. Let me put myself on mute here.
Would be more important. So we were very fortunate in how we began. I think people don't realize this, but R3 did not begin as a software firm. R3 began as a consortium of literally dozens and dozens of the world's largest banks. They came together because they saw a need to figure out what the opportunity, and frankly the threat, but primarily the opportunity of blockchain might be for their business. So we worked with them. We implemented that consortium, if you like, for those banks, and so we were able to work with them to figure out what is the problem they're trying to solve. What are the issues in financial markets and banking more generally that are presently causing them so much pain, and which blockchain technologies, which DLT, could plausibly solve. So from that initiative, from that work, came the requirements for Corda, and then came the Corda platform itself. Since then, we R3 have evolved into a software firm. So from our beginnings as a consortium and our discovery that Corda could solve problems with the banks, we evolved into, as I say, what we are now, which is a software firm who's responsible for safeguarding, shepherding Corda, bringing it into the future and making it available for anybody who could benefit from it. And so the reason why it meets the needs of banks so well, in my opinion, is because we genuinely listened over an extended period of time to the problems they had. We didn't just say, hey, blockchain's cool, let's see whether we can force it down their throats and jam it in inappropriate.
I ended up recording myself again. Nice, sweet conversation, and no audio. So this is take number 2 from where I was before, when Richard Brown CTO had ended and told us that their banks, or R3, was founded by a consortium of banks. So here we are, R3's website, and we will check out who the founding members were, or are, of R3. I just want you to know that they work with banks. That's what they do. Banks formed R3, right on their website. Here we go. Here's the team. Here are the founding members. Take a look. Take a good look. Use your eyes. Use your nose. Breathe it in. Inhale it. Taste it. Okay, moving on. So, just in the comment section here of the video, of that statement here, where Sir Clown Sniper said what he said, David Schwartz replied, and then just going down after mine, somebody else had replied, hoof, XRP, R3 Corda, and Swift rockets. What a time to be alive. And then the reply from Sir Clown Sniper was just no, and then sends an article. Okay, so keeping in mind that the first thing we had seen here from 2018 was on R3's site. So now let's go to Sir Clown's Sniper's article here. Keeping in mind, this is from the original horse's mouth from R3. I'm going to build my case to you now of why it is using. All right, I'm not trying to say somebody else is wrong. I'm not trying to debunk anybody. I'm not saying you have to believe what I believe. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just building my case based off of my understanding and how I interpret things. And I'll show it to you, and you come to your own conclusion. We're all adults here, make our own conclusions. However, some people act like real kids on Twitter. But let's jump into this though. Swift is not using XRP on Corda Settler, says R3 founder. When global payments organizer Swift partnered with blockchain consortium R3, many predicted Ripple, a company hoping to build a rival to Swift, would have taken a knock. Instead, the price of XRP, which Ripple's products are centered around, jumped 10%. But why? Well, it turns out R3 and Ripple are closer than many thought. In December 2018, R3 announced it was adding XRP as the first digital currency on its Corda Settler platform as part of its deal with Swift. This led to speculation that Swift was going to be using XRP to carry out payment settlements, but is any of it true? Not according to R3 founder. Now here's the part I want you to focus on, okay? Not according to R3 founder. Listen to these words. And managing partner David Rudder, when asked if Swift will be using XRP due to its Corda Settler integration, Rudder told Decrypt, which is the news article company here, you'd have to ask Swift about that. But that is not at all my understanding, and I think that is a misinterpretation of what in fact happened. So David Rudder didn't clarify anything, actually. He just obfuscated the question and pushed it on to David Rudder. By obfuscated, I mean he said, I'm not going to answer it and how you want me to answer it, but I'll answer it by using different words, and then I'll push it on to you, actually, to go and get your answers. That's what he had done. Because he said, is such and such happening between Swift, Ripple, and XRP, and Corda, sorry. And he said, you'd have to ask Swift, right? In a sense, I don't have the answer, or I'm not answering your question. You'd have to ask Swift, all right? After speaking at a global fintech and blockchain conference 2019 at Imperial College London, Rudder added that Corda Settler is agnostic to which payment methods are used. Whether it's JPM, Wells Fargo, BAML, HSBC coin, it doesn't matter to us. We got you all. We're in there like swimwear. Alright? And prior to that, there was a court case between Ripple and R3. Ripple and R3, two blockchain startups, were involved in a legal battle over a contract dispute. That dispute centered around an agreement to give R3 the right to purchase up to 5 billion XRP at 0.0085 cents per unit until September 2019. Ripple filed a counterclaim accusing R3 of signing the deal in bad faith and using the partnership to develop a competing product, which is Corda. R3, on the other hand, alleged that Ripple terminated the option unjustifiably. The legal battle involved claims and counterclaims, with both parties seeking damages and asserting breaches of contracts. The details of the settlement between Ripple and R3 remain confidential, but it is known that they have resolved the dispute. Right from Ripple's mouth now, okay? Ripple and R3 reached settlement September 10th, 2018. Ripple Labs, provider of the leading enterprise blockchain solutions for payments, and XRP2, two different entities under the same Ripple umbrella, released the following statement today. R3 Holding Co. LLC and R3 LLC, two different companies under the same umbrella, Ripple's Lab Inc. and XRP2, two different companies under the same holding co. R3 LLC and Ripple's Lab Inc. are the two software companies. R3 Holding Co. LLC and XRP2 LLC are the money companies. They're the holding companies for the assets, whatever those assets are, okay? Announced that they have reached a settlement of all outstanding litigation between the parties. The terms of the agreement will remain confidential, and both sides look forward to putting these disputes behind them. Noble. Ripple is a noble company. These are potential, or I guess outcomes of that settlement, but the rest of it is still confidential. Ripple and R3 enter out of court settlement over 5 billion XRP tokens. So R3 is entitled to 5 billion tokens. Ripple, the blockchain startup, you need to move. Okay. Startup that will utilize XRP currency. Okay, I can't read that. It's not doing nothing. Okay, I'm just going to skip that part there because I can't read it. So, Grutter have reached a settlement over the 2016 agreement that gave R3 the right to purchase 5 billion XRP tokens on the base price of, there it is there. When both parties signed the contract, the price of XRP was only around a cent. However, the company appreciated considerably in 2017-2018, with the current value of 5 billion XRPs equaling 1.3 billion right now. So R3 Corda, 5 billion XRP at that point, 2018, 1.3 billion XRP. So as XRP continues to appreciate, R3 is holding a big sum of that. 5 billion of that, okay? So now that we have the understanding of what had taken place between Ripple and R3, and R3 is holding 5 billion XRP at that point, worth 1.5 billion, and I provided the documentation from R3 here. From 2018, R3 launches Universal Settler application to facilitate global payments on Corda. XRP is the first settlement, and people's argument is it's from 2018. Now let me present to you my findings now that we have the information and we're all up to speed here, okay? This is from 2018. This is from the horse's mouth here, their logo right here, this date right here. The details here, R3 also says here what the scheme was and happened and blah, 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 blah. And as we get down to the bottom, they talk about themselves. Now, the main thing to focus on here is the copyright on this webpage still. This is my argument. This is 2023. R3, the name of the software company, all rights reserved. Okay? So now that we have that ideology in our head, just remember those things. Because I want you to come with me on this journey, okay? Which one should I show first? This thing here. So here we are now. When do you need a copyright notice on websites? And where do you place it? So we're going into websites now and how they're set up and where do you place certain things, okay? Let's get legal here. And I'm just presenting my facts for how I view them. A copyright notice is just what it sounds like, a written notice stating that a particular work is protected by copyright and that you own that copyright. Some people wrongly believe that the internet content is free for the taking. Others know fully well the internet content is protected by copyright, but steal it anyways. A copyright notice alerts all visitors to your website that your content is copyrighted and not to be copied without your authorization. The benefits of copyright notices: every piece of writing, music, or art is automatically protected under law, regardless of whether you formally register it with the U.S. Copyright Office. Is included a copyright notice on it. However, placing the copyright right here, little c, see below, conspicuously on the footer of the website, the footer is the bottom, provides a clear signal to the internet users that they are aware of your rights and intend to enforce them. So, for R3 to hold that still, to say that they have 5 billion XRP and that XRP is the first settler, the first settlement token on their quarter platform, they could be sued for this. They could be sued for that from Ripple. They could be sued for this, all right? They are a conglomerate software company. Their website is the means to their world. So if you want to get to R3, you go to that website there, you give them a call, you email them, whatever. But you go to that website. That's where the big boys are shopping. They're shopping on R3's websites. Websites are important. How they look, how they're set up, what's on there. It's known as window shopping. And I'll prove my point to you guys here. But again, I'm not trying to force my ideology down your throats. I'm just building my case. Taking away the innocent infringer defense is important when it comes time to calculating what damages you'll be able to collect. For example, when it comes to statutory damages, the court can set the amount as low as $200 per infringement for an innocent infringer, while intentional infringers, so R3, should hypothetically be intentionally infringing on Ripple's products there, the 5 billion that they own, that somehow didn't integrate into their product. They're just going to hold it for whatever purpose, and they're a software company that was formed by banks. They're just not going to use this thing that'll save them millions and billions of dollars. All right, okay. That's the thought. Okay. How to format a copyright notice and where to place it. A valid copyright notice contains 3 elements: the copyright symbol, the C, the words copyright or copper. If the website is published, the year of the publication. Okay. Remember I showed you the date here? The year of that publication. Move this thing here. The name of the copyright owner. Right there at the very top. The name of the copyright owner, R3. These elements don't have to appear in any particular order in the notice, but most notices are written in the order set forth above. We have the symbol down there. Right, I'm sure we got that symbol down there. Let's go back down. There we got it. Right, there's the symbol, the copyright symbol. I'm not making anything up. Has to say copyright somewhere. Does it say copyright somewhere? All rights reserved. Terms of use, privacy policy. So they say all rights reserved. What's the difference with that? So here we are. We pulled it up now. I want to know what all rights reserved is. A reservation of rights is usually used to protect against the legal concept of a waiver. A waiver occurs where a party to a contract or a proceeding takes a step that amounts to giving up a right or a defense. So they're not giving up their right. They're not giving up their defense at all. They're reserving their rights to their defense for the publication of that. XRP is the first settlement token on their platform. Reservations of rights are common in the insurance context. In cases of questionable or uncertain insurance coverages, insurers may send a reservation of rights letter or a waiver agreement that preserve their right to deny coverage after they have investigated the claim. The insurers are making it clear that they intend to fulfill their obligations under an insurance contract, but may limit or deny the claim later. Reservation of rights letters can be lengthy and complicated documents intended to state the rights and defenses that are preserved. So R3 has the right and defenses to bear that XRP is the first settling token on their website. Okay? They have the right to do this. Why? Why do they have the right to keep this on their website? Let's learn about websites now and how websites are used and why they are important. All right, we have to know and understand this stuff. So this here is from the Digital Transformation Summit 2023. This is 2 weeks ago, okay? And I want you to hear this conversation. These are professional. These are multi-billion-dollar coaches that teach people how to do these things and implement it for the digital transformation, okay? None of these are my words. I'm just putting the picture together here for you guys. Listen to what he says.
Digital transformation is not just a technical issue. It's not about systems. It's not about systems replacement. It's very much a business issue, and it's very much a cultural issue within organizations. We've had a couple of conversations upstairs about, how people are embracing digital transformation, and more often than not, it's not the technology that's getting in the way. It's the business cultural changes that are preventing us from moving on. So your website is the shop window to your organization. So if you indulge me for a few minutes, I started my career back in the early 80s with an organization called British Home Stores, BHS. Good to see a couple of people nodding who remember them. Sadly, they're no longer around. But I joined them as a graduate trainee. And as a graduate trainee, you get to experience all aspects of the retail world, including window dressing. And British Home Stores took their window dressing incredibly seriously. We used to have mantras like, window dressing is about stopping the passerby from passing by, and corny stuff like that. But it was all about ensuring that the shop window looked right. We used to have our shop windows cleaned every single morning, so there was no mess from the previous night on our shop window. If there was a crack in the window, we had emergency services to come and replace the glass. The contents of the window must be up to date. The product must be available, it must be priced right, and it must be easy to find when the shopper came back into the store. And all the time, it all made sense, and it all felt very...
It must be easy to find when they come back to the store. This window shopping store he's talking about is the R3 website. When people go back there to find what they want in XRP because they utilize XRP on their website as the first settlement token, they can find it easy. In the article, that statement that they reserved the right to post up there is from 2018. Nothing has changed. They got the copyright up there, they got their copyright symbol there, they got the year they posted it, and they got the rights reserved. Still current, 2023. They hold the right to say this still, legally. Legally. All right, I'm not making any of this stuff up here. I'm showing you guys what's going on. Don't let these people just write back to you and say no, and then post an article, somebody else's third-party thought injected into yours. Don't look at that shit. Go right, pardon my language, go right to the horse's mouth. So we have gone over R3 stating it still. We found out legally they have the right to state that still. Now we're talking about the window dressing, which is their website itself, and how they're presenting to the retail customer. Retail not being us. We're not the individuals connecting with R3 to make our platforms better. That is banks. That's financial institutes. That is non-government organization. That's government organizations. That's whoever those retail people are. We're not the only ones considered retail. Anybody looking for a services is considered a retail customer at that point. Okay, let's get back into this. Window dressings.
Relatable to the world of retail. But here we are 40 years on, And the reality is that's exactly where we are with websites today. That the website is the shop window to our organization. And people will make judgments on your organization and its values based on the initial glance at the website. So what came out of the discussion that Peter would have talked about if he was here with Unilever, what's come out of the discussions I've been having in the last 20 years while I've been involved in MarTech, has been that when we talk about websites, quite often it's initially thought that the website is the CMO's issue, it's the CMO's domain, it's marketing's problem, when in fact, it's quite often everybody's part of the organization that they actually come together to work on the website. And there's a number of reasons I'll go into in a second as to why this is absolutely key. Organizations that work purely in silos and drive their website environment on their own, be that marketing or be that IT, are typically going to struggle in the web environments or the web situations we find ourselves in today. By the way, you notice there's a plug for Lego there, and I'll come back to that. Security concerns is probably the number one thing we talk about these days. Actually, there's a lady called Jane Fraser, who is the CEO of Citibank. I don't know if anybody from Citibank is here. No, Jane's over in Dubai at the moment, and she was quoted this week of saying that the S of ESG should now be changed from social to security, such as the implications that if there are security issues within your web environment or your organization.
So, next fact. Do we think there's security breaches that somebody else is keeping up that R3 logo, current web page, copyright 2023 with the XRP as the first settlement? Do we think that somebody else had breached R3's website to put it up there? Now that we found out that it's everybody's problem, do we think there's a systemic issue inside R3 that people fail to recognize that, hey, this settlement for with XRP as the first settler should come down now because we don't use that? We were reaching multi-billion-dollar corporations, so we should probably push out truth at that point, right? If they weren't using it, why would they keep it up there if they weren't using it? Why would they go to copyright that and reserve the rights to keep that up there? They're issuing these things out to billion-dollar companies. They're not lying about these things. That's when it came out. Nothing about that article had changed. The website changed. That's why the year kept updating with the rights reserved, to reserve their rights to bear that emblem, word, logo, XRP, because Ripple owns the moniker, the three letters XRP in that order. Ripple owns that, XRP. I present evidence number such and such and such into the role now, and we can present this as evidence. XRP is a registered trademark of the XRPL Foundation in the USA and other countries like China and Estonia. The trademark application was registered with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, the USPTO, 2013, with OpenCoin Inc. and Ripple Labs as the assignees. So OpenCoin, which is what XRP used to be called before, and now XRP Labs, both came and created XRP, and called it XRP. Okay? Here we have in evidence. Here's the trademark office here. XRP trademark details. There we have it. Status details, filing details, registration details. The moniker XRP is owned by Ripple. So if it's owned by another conglomerate, and another conglomerate, such as these people here, were stating that they can use XRP as the first settlement, and that's false, they could be sued again, couldn't they? Why haven't they been? Well, because they have a right to be able to do that and say that and keep this old information on their website, right? They have all rights reserved into 2023 still. This company right here. I present my case to you guys, and I hope that's evident enough for you guys. Because just because it's an old, it's old, doesn't mean it's not relevant. To understand where we're going, you gotta understand where we came from and how we got there. These guys hold 5 billion XRP. Do you not think they're going to deploy this and use this to scale up, to keep their operational cost real low? Use your heads, folks. Use your head, folks. I got you. And I'll see you on the next one.
We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.